Yo, what is poppin'? It's your boy Whiteout, and when you think about the past, what do you think about? I feel like it comes to everybody's mind. It's the dinosaurs, right? You got to think about the dinosaurs. And, it depends on how far you're thinking in the past, but I feel like if you keep telling them to think further, it comes down to the dinosaurs. And when we think about dinosaurs, what do we think about them? Because all we see is the bones, and are the bones even correct? We don't know. I mean, they're around each other, so they could potentially be, but what if it ate some bones? I don't know. So today we're going to be watching what dinosaurs actually looked like. It's time to lock in, and it's time to get 1% smarter. Let's go.
The past is a vast and mysterious land that begins at the Big Bang and ends in the present, expanding with each passing moment. It's the home of everything that came before, the key to understanding our present. Here, we find the most amazing creatures to ever roam our planet. Hundreds of millions of species so diverse that our imagination cannot do them justice. Unfortunately, the past carefully guards its secrets. While there are a lot of things about the past we know, there are way more things we know we don't know. And worse, there are probably even more things we don't even know that we don't know about.
Yeah, it's true. That is very true, actually, thinking about it. There's probably so much we don't know that we don't know. Like, it's insane.
Think of the wonder of life. We now recognize about 1.5 million eukaryotic species, but there may be as many as 10 million alive today. And although we are adding some 15,000 new species to our collective knowledge each year, the vast majority of life on Earth is still undiscovered. This is just what is around today. An estimated 4 billion species emerged on our planet in past eons.
That's crazy.
But at least 99% of them died out way before humans spoke the first words. The vast majority of all the different species that ever existed are so utterly deleted that they have become part of the unknown part of the past, lost to us forever. Or are they? Could we use science and imagination to glimpse a shadow of the unreachable past? Let's start with what we do know. To learn about creatures of the past, we need fossils, any sort of remains preserved from past geological ages, bones or shells, impressions or imprints, things preserved in amber. The totality of all fossils on Earth is called the fossil record, and it's the most important window on the past we'll ever have. For a dead animal to fossilize, a number of things must go just right. The right environment, timing, and conditions. And then the fossil needs to survive for millions or hundreds of millions of years, and then get back to the surface, and then be discovered before natural processes dissolve it. So it is kind of a miracle that we have what we have, and know what we know.
What if in the past, right, I'm going to throw a theory out there, let me know what you guys think about this. What if in the past, there was, like, some sort of species that lived off of photosynthesis, right? They didn't have bones, but they could move. Think of like a flower person, right? And they don't need to build a house. They don't need to do anything because they're going to be, I guess, hiding themselves from the sunlight, and that's how they use it to survive, right? And what if, like, there was a few billion or even million of this species around, and they could communicate. They had mouths, but they talked in a different way, obviously. Obviously, they didn't use English. They used, maybe they were telepathic or something, right? And then through time, instead of evolution, they de-evolution. What is that word? I don't know what that would be called. But they actually went down to sticking in place instead of, like, as a flower would now, instead of before. And we can't find all of it because it all just decomposed and turned into nothing. Think about something like that, because there could be like some sort of thing like that could have happened, and we just have no idea, and we never would have an idea about that. But did I just cook right there? Let me know.
Take the dinosaurs, since they were one of the largest and most successful groups of animals for some 165 million years, and are also a lot of fun to animate. What were they really like, and what are we missing? In the last 200 years, we've found tens of thousands of fossils from over 1,000 dinosaur species. Lately, we've entered a golden era of discovery, and about 50 new dinosaur species are discovered each year, expanding what we know and what we know that we don't know about them, which is amazing. But it also makes us aware of all the things lost to the past forever. Imagine if we took all the animals that lived in the last 50 million years and randomly chose 10,000 individuals from 1,000 species to fossilize. Think about all the things that would be missed or that seem too weird to be true. Like the giraffe, a yellow animal with brown patterns that looks like a horse, and an antelope had a baby with a long neck and 2 tiny hairy horns. How many dinosaur giraffes were there? Animals so weird and selected for ecological niches so specific that evolution molded their bodies very absurdly. Today they might seem made up to us. We know a lot of species are lost forever just because of the environment they lived in. For example, lush jungles basically prevent fossilization, as the chances that an animal will be buried here are low. Countless scavengers of all sizes break down freshly deceased animals extremely quickly, and the soil is often so acidic that bones are dissolved.
They had a dragon on that, and there is actually like proof. I mean, not really proof, but dragons have been around for so long. If you think about it, like they've been in stories, they've been in like really famous paintings and such. Is that just something that people had that just they thought was normal back in the day? And like dragons were real? Because I feel like dragons, even vampires, if you think about vampires, vampires have been around forever. I mean, what, like, I don't even know the oldest vampire story nor dragon story. So could these have been like different species of human slash reptile that have, or lizard people, you know? Hey, I said it. But could these be like different species that actually existed back then that just maybe faded out? I mean, do vampires fade out, or do they actually just live forever? I mean, I don't know about that one, but could that actually be a thing?
And so fossils of dinosaurs from jungles are practically non-existent. Today, half of all known species live in the few remaining rainforests that only cover 2% of Earth's landmass. Millions of years ago, when dinosaurs roamed Earth, jungles covered much more of the planet. So, besides some insects and other small animals trapped in amber, there should be millions of species that emerged and vanished without leaving any trace. Trapped deep inside the unknown unknown. But just in general, biology trips us up. Look at your body. It's mainly squishy, gooey, soft stuff, which does not preserve well. What remains the longest are the crystallized parts of your bones, and so most dinosaur fossils are bones or teeth, usually fragments, not entire skeletons. This means that almost all boneless or shellless animals are practically wiped from the fossil record. If we take a look at the stunning diversity of weird animals like worms, jellyfish, and slugs alive today, we can only speculate what we are missing. Although thankfully, many mostly soft and gooey species also left us an incredible diversity of shells that tell us an amazing amount about our past, so at least we have that. Still, when we think about all the boneless species that may have existed in the last 500 million years, even our best attempt at imagining them falls short.
That's what I was saying earlier.
But it's not like reimagining something based on its bones is straightforward, and so the way we envisage what dinosaurs actually looked like has changed a lot in the last few years. In the past, many illustrations had a bony, minimalistic look with a toothy grin to signify fierceness and danger. But if we draw today's animals in a similar way, based on their skeletons, just for the fun of it, we get the most bizarre creatures. Elephants, swans, and baboons that look like monsters right out of nightmares. So, similar to animals today, we should imagine dinosaurs with much more soft tissue, fat bellies or chests, weird soft parts like skin flaps, lips and gums, and just more pronounced features that would make them seem like much more pleasant fellows. Some soft features actually leave distinctive traces on bones that we can look for in the skeletons of extinct animals, which is where today's animals with similar features are really helpful. It's a similar story with colors. Because we know what the feathers of living birds look like, modern technology combined with the exceedingly rare fossils with preserved remains of fuzzy feathers give us a glimpse of the real colors of extinct dinosaurs. We know that tiny Sinosauropteryx had a striped tail, and its tiny dino buddy Anchiornis huxley was white and black with gorgeous red feathers around its head. Still,
isn't it crazy that no human was alive when dinosaurs were alive? Isn't that so crazy? I mean, as we know of. But isn't that so crazy to think that there was a whole it was a whole nother world in that time. It is actually really wild to think about that. And I mean, yeah, like he was saying, I've seen a bunch of times, like people reimagine, like you see it and you think of a reptile, and it's like, yeah, that makes sense. You know, it makes sense if it would look like a reptile, but also, who says like T Rexes didn't have feathers? Also, I've had this thought for a while now. How the hell does a T Rex stand up? If a T Rex fell over, how does it stand up? You're telling me those little arms are going to get it back up? You're telling me those legs can move in a way? Does he have a knee bone that he can get back up? How does a T Rex stand back up? How does he sleep? Because I feel like the second he lays down, there's no getting up. It's like a turtle being on its back. How I mean I think some turtles actually can snap themselves around. But how does a T-Rex stand up? Does somebody know that? Or did I just cook? I mean, I like what how does a T-Rex stand up? Somebody tell me that. Somebody tell me that in the comments right now.
Well, for the vast majority of really any ancient extinct species, we have no real clue what color they were. But we know what modern dinosaurs, birds, look like, and here we find the most amazing variety. So some dinosaurs will have tried to blend into the background, while others might have fielded aggressive color schemes to attract mates or to appear dangerous. Some might have had impressive decorations or colorful beaks. Some may have been striped or patterned. Similarly, we don't know that much about dinosaur behavior, although once again we can draw conclusions from existing animals. For example, even apex predators like lions spend a lot of their time lying around and cuddling and licking each other and playing. Why would dinosaurs be so different? When we first found the skull of T-Rex with its mighty teeth and probably the strongest bite of any land animal ever, we imagined a fierce and stupid beast.
Okay, wait, hold on. Let's break down
Bite
the
of
anatomy.
any land animal ever, we imagined a fierce and...
Okay. He has knees. How did he stand up?
And
Hold on, let's
probably
watch
the
this again.
strongest bite of any land animal ever, we imagined a fierce...
Okay, so he kind of lays in a squat position to sit. So could he turn? If he turned, can he like lift his legs up? How does he stand up? If he's on his side, how does he stand up? I don't understand that because it's such a weird anatomy. Like if he fell right on his side and if he could turn, can he lift his legs above him to then get placement and then deadlift himself up or something? Is that possible? Cuz like how does that make sense? I guess if they have a knee bone, right? If that's a thing, then I get that's how they can kind of get up from like that lay down position if they're laying down. But does that mean their feet always have to touch the ground? If he ever falls over, he's cooked. I feel like he's cooked because if his legs can't go above this little like whatever the stomach, then how does he actually stand up? And these are answers that need to be these are questions that need to be answered, not what they look like. Like, are the bones actually correct on a T-Rex? Because, like, I'm looking at that, and I don't know. That looks AI to me. I
and
don't know.
stupid beast. But modern scanning technology has revealed that T-Rex had a larger brain-to-body ratio than some earlier giant meat-eaters. And it probably had very sharp hearing, vision, and a sense of smell, and was in all likelihood not a stupid animal. So maybe T-Rex was a cuddly fellow that spent a lot of time playing around or impressing potential mates when it was not hungry. Likewise, while their horns and shields might have made ceratopsids appear to be natural-born fighters, they were probably much more than that. Based on the behavior of modern animals and the complex dances some have to go through to mate, maybe their shields were amazingly colorful. Maybe it danced for its mates like many birds do today. How intensely amazing these creatures must have been. And what a loss it is to us that we don't get to experience them firsthand. What an even greater loss that there is so much we will never know about them, and even more tragic, all the absurd and beautiful beings that disappeared without a trace. But such is life. Time marches on without any concern for our feelings, and the past expands with every moment that passes. Most wild animals alive today will in all likelihood not leave fossils behind and also just disappear forever.
That big one. This guy right here. This homeboy right here with the big neck. How does he stand up? How does he stand up? If he falls to his side, how is he standing up? See, these are answers that need to be questioned. I mean, these are questions that need to be answered. I don't know why I keep reversing that. But how do they stand up? Maybe I'm asking the dumb questions, but somebody needs to ask the dumb questions so we can get to the smart ones, and that's a first question right
Likelihood
there.
not leave fossils
What?
behind and
How?
also just disappear forever. We can do something about that, though. Instead of accelerating the extinction we are witnessing, we could become the guardians of life and preserve it where we find it. If possible, in the wild, if not, then in museums, movies, and in our minds. Because as amazing as our imagination is, and as fascinating to think about the animals that are part of the unknown unknown, it is even better to witness them in the present. The land that we actually inhabit, where we get to experience life as it happens.
It's just interesting to think about, like, there is so much that we don't know, and there's so much that we aren't ever gonna know. And like, it could be completely different than what we assumed it could be. And there could be way more. There could be way more that could have been going on at the time. There could have been something controlling all of these, like flower people. I don't know why I'm so stuck on flower people, but like it could have been something like that. It is super interesting. And I guess we won't know fully, but I guess we can make assumptions. Anyways, with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys haven't already, make sure you absolutely smash that like button. And honestly, it's pretty cringy if you haven't. I mean, I'm not upset at you, but like, what are we doing here? All right, we trying to learn about dinosaurs. You guys out here just not hitting that subscribe button. Like, really? Really? Because if you haven't hit that subscribe button, what are you doing, bro? Just subscribe, join the Whiteout Army. Thank you guys so much for watching, though, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.